Hello everyone, welcome back to our latest deep dive into the Reno-Sparks real estate scene. If you're thinking about selling your home or maybe jumping into buying, you've come to the right spot. We're going to be breaking down everything you need to know about what's happening right now in our market. First up, for homeowners out there considering selling, we've got some interesting news on mortgage rates that might make your day. And trust me, with the way median home sales prices have been moving, you're going to want to hear this. For those of you that are hunting for your next home, don't worry, got you covered. We're talking about new listings on the market, closed sales, and giving you a clear picture on what's flying off the market and why. But what about making these homes yours? Well, we're going to be diving into housing affordability, giving you the lowdown on how far your dollar can go right here in the Reno-Sparks area. So whether you're looking to sell your pad and cash in or find your next dream home, stick around. We're unpacking all the details to help you make the best move in this market. Let's get to it.
Assist you sell way smarter.
Before we dive in, we got a lot to cover. I want to mention this is for the Reno-Sparks area only. It does not include Fernley, Fallon, Minden, Gardnerville, Carson, etc. If you do want information on those areas, please reach out. We can get you those stats and trends as well. And this is for single-family residential properties. Includes basically houses and condos. Now that doesn't include, apartments and commercial properties and lots and land, etc. Now, this is intended to be a 30,000-foot overview to give you an idea of where the market is headed and where it's been. If you want more specific information on a property that maybe you own or thinking about selling, or maybe it's a house you're thinking about buying, you want to get a good valuation on it, you can visit our website right over here at 4renohomes.com. Right here front and center when it says want to know what your home value is today, you can click on the Find Out Now button right here. And when you click on that, you can just enter an address. We'll give you an automated valuation. We'll follow it up with a really good detailed, what we call a CMA, comparative market analysis. Let's dive into the stats. The first thing we always look at is mortgage interest rates for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Why? It has the biggest impact on the market in general, from prices to inventory to who's selling, who's not, etc. And I'll get to that here in a moment. But as of this recording, early February, interest rates are sitting at 6.63% on average. Now, this is a national average. It can vary right here in Reno-Sparks a little bit. Now, as I record this, it's a little after February 1st. They've actually gone up slightly. But as you can see, we're getting some relief on interest that was nearly 8%. We've seen a significant drop. Now, what is that meant for median home price? Well, before we get into that, I want to explain these charts. On the left side is the price, right? On the bottom is a date. So you have XY axis, which is price and date. Over here, obviously it says January 2024. Now, this is a February market update, but we only have numbers through the end of January. And then you have prior period, which in this case would be December. So the previous month is the prior period. It would be December of 2023. And the same period last year would be January of 2023. So that way you know what you're looking at. So median home price is sitting right now at $532,000. Now that's Reno-Sparks combined. Reno is a slightly higher, Sparks maybe a little bit less, but 532, which is actually down from last month where it was 550, but up slightly from last year, up 3.3%. We're sitting at 515. You can see the chart here. We peaked out right around early to mid 2022 before we started to see interest rates spike quite a bit. We saw it bottom out at a little over 500,000. We rebounded a bit. And once again, softened. So I do expect prices to kind of remain somewhat flat given the interest rates. Total sales were 4,841 for 2023, the lowest level we've seen since the early 2000s. And as you probably know, if you've lived in this area for any period of time, you know early 2000s was a completely different market than we see today. I mean, today we have so many more homes. Population has increased dramatically. So sales prices are down. So let's take a look at sales. This is the closed sales for January of 2024, 271, which is down 13% from December. Now that's not at all unusual. Keep in mind, January, you're really looking at November and December sales that actually close because they take 30 to 45 days or more to close. So really the end of January is traditionally one of the lowest months for sales. So this isn't at all unusual. What is unusual is the level at which these sales have hit, how low they've gone. Usually, and you can see January, and so on, you can see the bottom out, but we bottom out usually around 400, 450, somewhere around that range, not 271. It gets interesting when we look at closed by price. The vast majority of sales are closing right around 400 to 500,000 and 500 to 600,000, and that goes back to this whole affordability issue, right? Those are the only homes that are still somewhat affordable for the average median income earner, are those 400 to 500. But what's interesting, I want you to note over here, is anything really 700, 750 and above, it really starts to fall off in terms of total sales. Now let's look at actives. Now actives are just homes right now today that you could go out and take a look at. If you wanted to go buy a house, you wanted to have a real estate agent go show you a bunch of homes, these are the ones that are currently on the market. There's 598 homes currently on the market. That's down 14% from last month, but down almost 30% from last year where we had 852. Now what I want you to notice here is how low we went. And now this total active inventory was during the pandemic. Now we did have a little bit of rebound. And why did we rebound? Well, it was 2022 into early to mid 2023. And what was happening around that time, 2022 into 2023, we saw interest rates spike up. So again, I hate referring back to interest rates, but they have a major impact on what's going on in the overall marketplace. So let's take active by price now, and this is where it gets interesting. If you look at $1.5 million plus, lots of properties on the market, 1 to 1.5 million, 750 to 900,000, and so on. Now, if you contrast that with the number of closed by price, you can see a big difference here. We've got a lot active, we've got a lot of homes on the market in these upper end price ranges, but unfortunately, we're not seeing a lot of those sales. Most of the sales are taking place in the low to bottom end price ranges. Now let's take a look at new listings. You might be asking yourself, what's the difference between a new listing and an active listing? So active listings are just listings that are currently on the market ready to buy. New listings just means these came on the market in January, right? January is when usually the listings start heating up. So we like to see the flow of new listings that are coming on the market. Now, obviously, some of these are still on the market. Some of these have already sold potentially and are already in escrow and aren't necessarily active anymore. But we had a listing flow of 368 in January, which is actually a good sign. Up 60% from December, which is pretty common because most people don't put their homes on the market in December and November, where there's holidays and a lot of things going on. January typically is when you start to see listings rebound and people start to put their homes on the market. As February, March, April move on, that's when you really start to see listings come up. And that's up 15.4% from last year where we only had 319. So this is a very good sign for new homes on the market. And if you look at new homes, or new listings, I should say, by price range, it's a pretty good sign. We're seeing most of the homes that are come on the market, at least in January, in these more affordable ranges here locally. So there you have it. Those are the stats. If you need any, if you have any other questions, once again, if you want to go get a valuation on your property, click there. It's free of charge. We're not going to drive you nuts with crazy spam and robocalls and things like that. We just want to give you good information so you know what your home is worth if you're thinking about selling or potentially buying one. Speaking of selling a home, if you have a home in the Reno-Sparks area and you think about selling, you owe it to yourself to check out Assist to Sell. There's absolutely no reason to pay 6% or 5% or 4.5% or massive sums of money to get your home sold. Been here since 1987. We've sold thousands of homes. We will list and sell your home for only $4,995, regardless of price. And if you look at the median home price in Reno, that's less than 1%. Incredible value. Now, this includes every home, every price, every time. It also includes MLS. If you've heard of multiple listing service, you know what that is. It's going to be exposed to all the realtors in town. It really is one of the best values in real estate sales, bar none. Give us a call, 688-6060, area code 775. We'd be happy to help you out. And of course, if you just have some questions about the market, want to get more stats and figures and trends, let us know. We're always happy to chat up real estate. It's what we do. So hope you have a great February coming up, and we'll see you next time right here on the Reno-Sparks Real Estate Update. Bye-bye.
Assist to sell way smarter.